Americans are about entrepreneurship. The bad thing about it is that we don't have the education on how to set up or start our business properly. And if you try to build a business on a shaky foundation, it will crumble. So today we're gonna fix that. What's good, family? Welcome into another episode of Tax-Free Living. Well, you already know what we're here to do. I'm here to teach you how to live tax-free in 2023 and beyond, okay? So I'm here with a different episode because it's so fundamental in our lives today, right? Entrepreneurship has never been more popular than it is today. Even according to the SBA, with the Small Business Administration, as of 2023, a whopping 54% of Americans have some type of business. This is the highest it's been in SBA history. And the good thing about it is Americans are about entrepreneurship. The bad thing about it is that we don't have the education on how to set up or start our business properly, okay? But before we get into the depth of today's episode, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And go ahead and share this with one person that you know needs to hear this, right? Because again, school didn't give us the blueprint on how to set up a business. So I plan to do that with today's episode, okay? So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. So the reason I brought this up is because I had a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about, we're having dinner, and we're talking about business over dinner, AKA tax deductible dinner, right? So we're talking about business over the dinner table, and he let me know that he really wants to start this new business, and he already started it. He already sold his first product, but he didn't have anything in place. No articles of organization or articles of incorporation, no EIN, no nothing. And he didn't understand the ramifications that could come with not setting up his business the right way. So based on our dinner conversation, I got him together. I got him right? I got him together, but now it just reminded me that we have all of these people out here, maybe including some of you all at home, that don't have the right structure because they just didn't know, right? And ignorance is not bliss. Ignorance is expensive, okay? So today we're gonna go over all that, how the blueprint to your business structure and how your business should be structured and set up for future financial success. Let's talk about it. So if you're new to entrepreneurship and you want to start your business, what is the step-by-step blueprint to do so? So let's get into it. So step number one, and this is the easy step, guys. I want you to, well, obviously if you have your business idea, right, set up your LLC. A LLC is the perfect entity that entrepreneurs should start off with, right? It's called a limited liability company. Why does it call a limited liability company? Because it limits your liability in the business. So if you were to have a lemonade stand and sell some lemonades without an LLC, right? And somebody choked on one of the lemon seeds, they can sue you for everything that you have in your business. But it won't just stop there. Because you're not incorporated, they can come sue you personally, taking your home, taking your savings, taking your cars, taking all your assets because you are not protected from litigation inside your business, okay? So, but if you have an LLC in place, right, it limits your liability. So if they were to sue you, they can only sue you for what's inside of your business, okay? So we want to incorporate our business and make it an LLC. Now, if you don't know how to set up an LLC in your state, here's a freebie. Go to llcuniversity.com, okay? llcuniversity.com. It is a free website that gives you a step-by-step walkthrough blueprint on how to set up an LLC in all 50 states of America. So no matter where you live in the USA, you'll be able to have a step-by-step blueprint on how to set up your LLC, okay? Now, with your LLC, you also want to file your EIN. Your EIN is your employer identification number, okay? So like as human beings, we have social security numbers. Our business has employer identification numbers. So your EIN, think of it as your business's social security number, okay? So when you get your LLC and your EIN. Now, here's where most people mess up, okay? Because when you're filing your EIN and when you're filing your LLC, they're gonna ask you some very important things like what's your address and what's your phone number and what's your website, right? Now, most people think this part is not important, right? But that couldn't be farther from the truth. So I want you to get a virtual address, okay? I want you to get a virtual address for your business. You can go to Regis.com, you can go to iPostal. These are websites that let you purchase addresses for your business. Now, why is this so important? It's important for a few reasons. Number one, the address of your LLC is public record, okay? It's public record, which means that if you use your home address in your LLC and I buy something from you and I want a refund and you don't issue me my refund, I can type in your company name, I can see the address, which is your home address, and I can pull up on you and demand my refund. You don't want those troubles, right? People are crazy out here. You don't want people to have that level of access to you, right? So it's about privacy. So you want to get a virtual address, right? You can get one for as low as $10 a month. They go all the way to $300 a month, depending on what type of address you want and what services you want that virtual address to give you. Some virtual addresses will receive mail for you. Some will do mail forwarding for you. Some you can actually get an office space in the virtual address, right? So it depends on the level, but they range from $10 all the way to $300 a month, right? So for just $10 a month, you can secure your privacy, right? So that's number one. The second thing you want to do is you want to get a actual business phone number, okay? Because if it's your personal number, everybody's gonna call you personally. You know, you want to go to Google Voice, or you want to go to Grasshopper. There's plenty of other websites that you can get a business phone for either free or very, very low cost, right? And you want to separate your business phone, your business calls from your personal calls. And the reason why these two things are really, really, really important is because when you go apply for business funding in this business, these two things are going to increase the likelihood of you getting funding. Think about it. If you come to Chase and I'm working at Chase, and I have your EIN paperwork, and I have your articles of incorporation paperwork. If I look at the address and I put it in Google, and I see that it's a home address, what do you think that's gonna make me think about you as a business owner, right? If you're not serious enough to get a business virtual address, are you gonna be serious enough to pay this credit card back, right? If I look at your phone number and it's a personal phone number, like if you're not serious about your business enough to get another business line, are you gonna be serious enough to pay this line of credit back, right? So having your home address and having a regular phone number not only exposes you from a privacy standpoint, but it also lowers your likelihood of getting funding that you're gonna need for this business. So I want you to fix it on the front end so it doesn't become a back end problem, okay? So we're gonna get our EIN, we're gonna get our LLC, we wanna get our EIN, we wanna get a virtual address, and we wanna get a business phone number, right? Well, all these things combined, once you have these, you then go to the bank and you open a business bank account, okay? Now, why is this so important? Well, one of the reasons this is important, because if you did everything that I just said in the previous example, you have your EIN, you have your LLC, you have your virtual address, you have your business phone line, but you're operating your business out of your personal account, meaning that you're commingling funds, you have personal money in there, business money in there, personal expenses, business expenses. If someone was to sue you and take you to court, and the judge was to pull up your statements and to see that you're running your business out of your personal account and you're commingling funds and you're not treating your business as a separate entity, they don't care what that LLC or state paperwork says. They're going to dissolve your entity in court because although you have the filings done, you're not treating your business as a separate entity, and they can do what's called piercing the corporate veil. And what piercing the corporate veil means is that they basically dissolve your entity in court and allow the person that's suing you to sue you personally. So even if you do all this work I just said, if you don't have your business bank account, none of that work will matter in the form of litigation. So you want to take this paperwork to a bank and you want to open up your business bank account, okay? And I prefer, just me, you don't gotta listen. I prefer you have at least 3 business bank accounts, okay? You're gonna have one for income, you're gonna have one for expenses, and you're gonna have one for taxes, okay? Now, all these accounts are gonna be at the same bank, all right? Now, I know you're all thinking like, Carter, opening one bank account is hard enough. Why you want me to open 3, right? Well, there's a book called Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. I call it the financial Bible for entrepreneurship. Like if you want to start a business and you want to have a good financially structured business, read this book, Profit First. One of the strategies in this book is to have separate bank accounts with separate titles, right? And the main reason you want to do this is because you want to be able to locate your money based off its goal. So like if one account is only for income, is one account is for expenses, you know that this is how much you have for expenses that month. And if you overspend the amount of money that's in that account for expenses, your business is probably spending too much, right? And the reason you want to have a tax account is because as business owners, nobody's saving taxes for us. So if we don't set aside money for taxes ourselves, then we're gonna come into the year, we're gonna have a big surprise from our good uncle, not Santa Claus. You're gonna have a good surprise from your good uncle, Uncle Sam, with a huge tax bill for Christmas, okay? So we wanna have another account for taxes. If you don't give your money a direction, it will run away from you. Now, another reason you wanna have 3 accounts is for business credit purposes. And the reason I bring up business credit is because it's what we need. Like if you can use somebody else's money to jumpstart your business, why not? Like, especially as Black people, we know we don't get the venture capital funding that a lot of other Americans get. So we kind of have to depend on other people's money from a banking and financing and credit standpoint because we can't rely on venture-backed capital and funding. So how is 3 bank accounts gonna help you getting business credit? Well, when you apply for business credit, whether it's a business credit card or a business line of credit, the bank is gonna ask you for bank statements. They're gonna wanna see at least 3 months of business bank statements, right? So what most people do is most people have one bank account for their business and they have all the income and expenses coming out. They got income coming in, but Chipotle receipts, Uber receipts, travel, all this software, and it just their bank looks like a mess, and it really doesn't make the lender confident that they're a reliable party to lend money to. But when we have these 3 business bank accounts, right, we're gonna operate it differently. Our income account is reserved for income. So that means all of our income is gonna flow in to this income account. All of our deposits, our PayPal, our Stripe, our Square, all the ways that we accept money in our business is gonna come in our income account, right? Then all the expenses for our business is gonna come out our expense account. All of our travel, all of our softwares, all of our contractors, all that money's gonna come out our expense account, okay? And then our tax account, we're gonna pay quarterly taxes out of our tax account. So once a month, we're gonna transfer money from our income account to our expense account for expenses for that next month. And then we're gonna make one transfer from our income account to our tax account for a future tax bill, right? For our quarterly taxes. Now, we make these transfers once a month. So how is this gonna help us with business credit? Well, the bank is gonna ask us for 3 months of business bank statements. But they never asked us which bank statements that we have to give them. So we're not gonna give them our tax statements that's gonna show our quarterly tax payments. We're not gonna give them the statements from our income account, which shows all of our random expenses coming out. We're gonna give them the statements from our income account, because our income account shows all these deposits coming in. You got cash deposits, Stripe, PayPal, Square, Shopify, whatever. You got all these deposits coming in and only 2 transfers coming out, which is gonna make you look like so much of a better borrower, because your bank rating is gonna be higher, because banks rate your loan ability based off the functionality of your account. So if they see 50 deposits and 2 outgoing transfers, they're gonna say, hey, yo, this business is making money every day, but they're only spending money and transferring money out twice a month. I'm confident to lend them $25,000. I'm confident to lend them $50,000. I'm confident to lend them $100,000. And this is how we not only structure our business the right way, this is not only how we keep our privacy intact, but this is how we increase our odds of getting funding for a relatively new business. Okay? If you do these things that I just told you guys today, you will be setting up your business on solid foundation so that you can build an empire of 6 figures, 7-figure, or even an 8-figure business, because your business will be able to stand on the solid foundation that you created. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. Like, this idea literally came to me last night after I came back from dinner with a friend. So let me know in the comments below if you like this episode, if you want me to talk more about business structure, business financing. I know I'm here to talk about taxes, but we can get a little more broad if that's what you want. So comment below, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.